One of the men accused of killing a little boy in Clovis years ago is going to go to prison rather than jail until his trial. Noe Torres wanted to stay at the Curry County Jail, saying it's closer to his attorney, but this week a judge rejected that idea. Torres is charged with murder, accused of killing little Carlos Perez in this apartment back in Clovis in 2005. Curry County's jail has been plagued with problems, including have a number of inmates escape. One of them who's already convicted of killing little Carlos Perez.
The Clovis News-Journal is now reporting that the judge is now sending Torres to a more secure state prison near Hobbs until he goes to trial in January. Last week, an inmate claiming to be the victim's cousin apparently attacked Torres at the Curry County Jail.
It looks like it was a father-son duo and not two brothers who led sheriff's deputies on a high-speed chase in Torrance County on Monday. Deputies say they tried to serve a search warrant on Ale and Brandon Hines near Manzano when the two took off. Deputies say they raced across Highway 55, then took to the back roads going up to 90 miles an hour. The chase went on for 45 minutes. It finally ended here when deputies say the two got their SUV stuck in the salt flats southeast of Estancia. Deputies say Ale and Brandon Hines could be connected to at least 6 burglaries in Manzano and Mountain Air. We now know who was killed in a bad crash near Cottonwood Mall last week. Police say Timothy Zimmer died when a car and SUV slammed into each other near Coors Bypass Friday night. He was just 19 years old. The drivers of the car and the SUV were not seriously hurt. The case is now headed to the district attorney's office to see if anyone will face criminal charges.
A New Mexico social worker accused of child porn has changed his plea. 65-year-old Lawrence Lucero of Tucumcari pleaded guilty yesterday to 5 counts of receiving and possessing child porn. Lucero was a federal contract worker for a company that provides health care for veterans in Las Vegas and Española. He was arrested back in March. He could face up to 150 years in prison once he's sentenced. An Ohio man will spend 3 years in prison for transporting nearly 200 pounds of pot and taking officers on a chase through southern New Mexico. 40-year-old James Apoli was sentenced this week. He took off from a Border Patrol checkpoint west of Alamogordo back in March. That's when the chase ensued. He later ended up crashing. He pleaded no contest to several charges, including aggravated assault on a police officer. Well, you may notice some people around your workplace are starting to complain that they're not feeling well, or perhaps several of your coworkers may be out sick.
A couple at News 13 are already sick this year, and there's a good reason for that because we're already in what could turn out to be a very bad flu season. That's what the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, is now saying. News 13's David Romero is live in the Newsplex with more. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Matt. Officials at the CDC say a strong indicator of that is seeing the number of cases that we're seeing at this point. And in fact, those numbers match those of what we would usually see about a month from now. Now, in this map from the CDC, it shows that New Mexico is one of a dozen or states across the country with sporadic outbreaks. That's as late as last week. Now, they are also showing elevated levels of flu-like illnesses in 5 of 10 regions throughout the U.S. According to the CDC, the vaccines available currently will cover the 3 major strains that are most common. The latest warnings on how bad this season could be are also helping to emphasize the importance that more people should get vaccinated if they already haven't. It takes about 2 weeks for the shot to take full effect.
We normally vaccinate here all the way up until March, but again, if you haven't received it, come on in and get it done and be protected.
And of course, this is National Influenza Vaccination Week. Now, you can check with your insurance providers to see if they cover the cost of the shot. Most usually do. Matt, back to you.
All right, great advice, David. Remember, doctors say the folks who need flu vaccines the most are kids, seniors, pregnant women, and Native Americans. Elizabeth?
Claims that wildlife managers violated the Endangered Species Act by allowing wildlife trapping have been dismissed by a federal judge. An environmental group feared that by allowing wildlife trapping in wolf territory, it could threaten the species population. The Mexican gray wolf seen here is found in an area that expands from New Mexico to Arizona. The group points out 14 cases where wolves were caught in foothold traps. Students from Nuestros Valeros charter school will get a glimpse of what happens when you drive drunk. This morning, the Courts to School program will have guest speakers at the campus who have been convicted of driving drunk. Another speaker will also get a chance to talk about what it is like to be a victim of a crash caused by a drunk driver. Matt.
We're a long way from summer. In fact, we're not already technically to winter, but already people are talking about banning fireworks next year because it is so darn dry outside. Fire chiefs from all across New Mexico want state legislature to make it illegal to use or sell fireworks if it continues to be extremely dry. They've wanted the legislature to make that change last year too, but the bill got shot down. And one state senator, Dee Feldman, says you can blame lobbyists for that.
Special interests and private gain have outweighed public safety and the protection of private property.
Now, other legislators do disagree with that, even though fireworks have started at least 2 wildfires in the last 8 years here in New Mexico.